Hi everybody, I'm Oge Agim on the think tank at Omega Studios International. I want to thank you all for your support and feedback from the last episode. So today we'll be talking about women and the milk on the shelf theory. Basically, this theory, talks about a carton of milk and how desirable it is when it's fresh compared to how undesirable and unfit for consumption it is when it's expired. The same goes for women in many societies today. So I would even take it from the Nigerian perspective. As a Nigerian, I have seen several scenarios where a young girl, upon completion of her studies, whether undergraduate studies or graduate studies, the next logical step to follow is to get married. So sometimes I ask myself, is that the natural course to follow? Is that something that for every single person that is what you have to do? So that is why this topic is very fascinating to me. Here I'm in the US, I come in and then I hear that, a woman goes to college, she goes to the next step, graduate school, she starts working, and she's encouraged to live her dream until she feels ready to get married. So for me, there's a type of a comparison. I look at where I come from and I look at where it is right now, and it's left to me as an individual to make that decision. To where I say, okay, I'm going to accomplish this, that, and the other before I get married. Because I believe that marriage is an institution where you have to go in mentally prepared. Because it's not a bed of roses. Neither is it a bed of thorns or spikes or cactus. No. It is something to be enjoyed if both parties are prepared mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. So those are very, very vital aspects or attributes for individuals that are looking to get married. So as to the milk on the shelf theory, I do not particularly believe that when a woman goes past a certain age, that she's not eligible for marriage based on love. However, biologically, experts have already said that a woman over the age of 30 experiences a decline of her fertility by about 3 to 5%. And it goes even further to up to between 7 and 10% when she reaches the age of 40. So there we already see that there's a discrepancy, there's already a problem. So for individuals, for women that are looking to, procreate, to have children early or, at least have their own biological children, it is advised that they do get married between those ages, that window that is already been given. However, I still maintain that before you get to that stage where you decide, okay, I'm ready for marriage, you have to have done the work. You have to have put in the work. As a woman, we are very guilty. I'm guilty of it myself, saying that I want Mr. Right, Prince Charming, Mr. This, Mr. That. But I need to work on myself. To be able to locate Mr. Right, Prince Charming, I need to be Mrs. Right and Princess Charming. If you understand my drift. So those are very essential things. They're questions you have to ask yourself. As a woman and even as a man, I've had conversations during this past week with my male friends, some of them saying that they don't mind the age of the woman they intend to settle down with, which in my mind, I think it's a lie, but okay. They say that it doesn't matter how old she is as long as she's mature in the mind and she understands that marriage is a thing that involves herself, her husband, and God, and that should be the only third party ever required. Another of my male friends said that he believes that marriage is something that you should go into only when you're mature in mind. So while he believes that, yes, age is important, he believes that, you can't, beyond the age of 30, he will no longer be interested because there are certain things that she's no longer, fresh, as they put it. But he still maintains that maturity of mind is more important than maturity of age or numbers. I have other friends, even women, my female friends that have a personal goal to get married before they turn 25. And the reason is this. They want to be able to chase their children around. They want to be able to reason with their children. They want to be on the same wavelength. And that is the same way I feel. It's a personal thing. It really doesn't mean it doesn't really say much. It doesn't say anything negative or positive about you as an individual. It is a personal choice. So that is my take. I was also reading an article, which we'll put up soon, about a lady. She got married at the age of 86 for the first time ever to her love. And all the technicalities, all the all the trappings that come with a wedding, like a first-time wedding. She had those things. She had her white wedding dress. She had her bouquet of flowers. She had her bridesmaids. She had her, groom and his groomsmen. Everything was perfect. So at the end of the day, you realize that, getting married is a thing of the mind. If the man is willing, the woman is willing. Age is nothing but a number. Also, do not neglect the fact that somebody that is over the age, so to speak, is still capable of loving even more than somebody that is within the age bracket. So it's something that is subjective, and you as an individual have to realize and think about what you want before jumping out on the road called marriage, or jumping out, to start off the journey called marriage. So that is my take on it. And as we wait for more callers, I just want to read out some text messages by people that have been texting in. So one of them says that marriage is, he personally believes that marriage is something that he would want to go to when he's already financially buoyant. He already has his money, he already has, a life, he's already created a life of his own. So to be able to meet up to standard, the woman he would settle down with has to at least come close to him in age and in status. And he realizes that that would take time. That would take time, years. And of course, he doesn't expect to marry a spring chicken when he's already in his 30s. So he's been, kind of realistic in that sense of the word. The startings. Okay. All right. So we have a caller on line 2. Hello and welcome. This is Oge from the think tank. May we know who's calling, please?
Hi, this is Casey. I'm calling from California. How are you, Oge?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I am blessed. Thank you for coming up with that idea, think tank, and to talk about the nail on the shelf theory.
Awesome. Right. So what are your thoughts? What do you think?
Well, in life, you know how it is. It depends on what you want to get out of a relationship.
That's right.
And when you're talking about marriage, it depends on the objective of what you want to get, either the man or the woman out of the marriage.
That's right.
And some people are married for love. Some people are married for money. Some people they do their marriage out of sympathy. And some people do their marriage out of, okay, my dad said, my mom said, I got to marry him or her, and I have no choice. And sometimes when the custom also affects who you decide to marry or not.
Okay.
Well, looking at it from the Western idea, from where we are in the U.S., it depends, like I said, on what you want to get out of a relationship.
Okay.
And if you want to marry to raise children, you got to look at the age. The person, maybe if you're a guy and you're looking to get a lady to get married, probably you're looking at productive age. And also the number of kids that you want to have will also affect the age of the lady that you want to get married to. You don't want to say, okay, I love her, and at the end of the day, you have an 85-year-old lady having her first child. It's like her carrying her own grandbaby in her hand, if not great-grand. So if you want to get married to somebody for the purpose of having children, you will probably want to start your marriage early. But if you want to look for somebody to support you to set up your life and open a business and be your business partner, a friend, and also, your fiancé or husband or wife, then your age doesn't really matter. You could be 20 and you get wedded to somebody who is 110. So I think the objective of the relationship is the most important thing that you can look at.
Yes.
What do you think?
You're actually quite correct, Mr. Casey. In every marriage, for every marriage, there is something that brought the couple together. Would like to say that in all cases, love is the case, but indeed, we know that's not true. Like you said, some marry for stability, some marry for money, some marry for social security. Social status security, that's what I mean. Some, others marry because they were forced into it. Others marry because of peer pressure. So, in each scenario, the individuals will still have to make the decision of marriage partner based on their objectives. So if it's to bring children into the world, procreation, age is a factor to take into consideration. You know,
Absolutely.
and recent, you know, it seems that, you know, men get to escape this this what would we say, maybe a quagmire, you know, where they feel, you know, they attention is drawn to just the woman, forgetting that even men, after a certain age, their sexual prowess declines at a certain age, while that of the woman moves up. You know, but the fertility is the issue. Fertility with a woman declines at a particular age, though her sexual prowess might move up, might increase. So those are things that they would have to consider. They would have to reason together before taking that bold step of getting married.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for calling, Casey. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. Okay. All right, so we have another caller. Hello and welcome to Think Tank. This is Oge speaking. May I know who's calling, please?
Oh, hey, this is Aya from California.
Hello, Ayo. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for calling in. As you may know, today's topic is the women and the women and the milk on the shelf theory. So, what are your thoughts on
Okay.
it?
Let's look at it this way. I'm a guy.
Yes.
I'm a guy, and I want if I want to get married. I want to get married to someone. I mean, someone who can procreate. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She has to be like younger than me, so like you know what I mean. No younger than me, so that she has a sense of respect.
Okay.
Kind of thing. So this thing of the milk on the shelf thing, she has.
Yes, the insight provided by our caller Ayo was very educative. He's of the mindset that if he wants to get married, he's thinking of procreation, you know, having children. So he would consider marrying somebody younger than him because such people are probably they have a higher probability of being fertile as opposed to somebody older than him. So like I said earlier, it comes down to your personal choice and your reason for getting married. You know, for a lot of people, it's you know, companionship. Like people who get married later on in their lives, from their 40s, you know, it's something that we hear of very often. People do it, you know. So at that age, you know, the objective may not necessarily be to have children anymore. You know, it may be just to have companions, to know that this is the person that I'll spend the rest of my life with. So even if it's, you know, they've reached the 50-year mark, there's hopefully at least 50 more years to go. So they want to spend the remainder of those years with a partner that they feel connected to, that they feel in sync with. You know, in life, things don't necessarily come out the way you plan. So such people, they might have planned to marry on early in life, but it didn't happen until their later years. So in that case, they would have to conform and work with what they have. And in that case, love would be an essential ingredient to have. You know, trust would be an essential ingredient to have. Communication, you know, all those things that would still be applicable in a young marriage, in a marriage involving two young people, will still be relevant in a union, a marriage between two older people. So there has to be common threads or commonalities in both scenarios. You know, so I believe, yes, strongly, I agree with what he's saying. I understand his mindset. In getting married, he wants to get married young. He'd like to marry somebody younger so that they would be able to take on the responsibility of parenting their children while they're still young, agile, and able to. All right, thank you. We have another caller. Hello, welcome to Think Tank. This is Oge. May I know who's calling, please?
Oh, sorry. There was a problem with the network when I called. My name's still Aya.
Oh, hello, Ayo. Good to have you back.
Okay, great. Okay. What I was gonna say is, at certain ages, things from the age of like 40 to 45, there's menopause.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to think of things like that. When like we're going to get married to a woman who's like 38, you have to think of things like if she doesn't get pregnant in 1-2 years,
she's talking about menopause. And if you're the kind of person who wants to get children, it might not work out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But do you believe in that scenario, you would still have to come to terms, come sit together and discuss? Because, you know, a marriage is just like, it's a partnership, it's an agreement. So two of them cannot be married except they actually agree. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Right. So in that case, would you sit down, you know, talk it through? Of course, there's no guarantee that by the next year she will not either conceive and have it and get pregnant, or, you know, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line. You know, there are exceptions. There's exceptions to every rule. I know of recent. I know, you know, it's almost becoming commonplace to hear that a woman who is advanced in years gave birth to children, you know, or gave birth to a child. So, bearing all that in mind, is it a risk you would want to take, marrying somebody, you know, that is advanced in age as opposed to somebody much younger?
I mean, I see your point. The thing is, although there might be a case of, or there might be cases of her not being pregnant, there are also cases of her not getting pregnant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want the case of her not getting pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Have you thought of other options, you know, such as surrogacy, IVF, that's the in vitro fertilization?
I mean, surrogacy and IVF cost money. I mean, no matter what you're thinking about, it's going to cost money.
Okay.
And you instead of spending that much money on things that might not even work, you might as well get married to someone younger.
So what about love in that case? If you really love this woman, you love her to the moon and back.
If you really love this woman, as long as children are your priorities, you know, getting married, I don't see why you can't find another person. You know what I mean?
So in that sense, you're saying, okay. All right. So in that case, you're saying it's you know, it's not a do or die to marry the love of your life. You can marry somebody you kind of love as long as you get what you want. Is that what you're saying?
In point, exactly.
Oh, okay, okay. So do you believe in true love?
Do I believe in true love?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What is true love to you? And is it disposable in any manner, shape, or form? Is it disposable?
Oh, no. True love is true love. True love is one thing is, well, I don't know how to describe it, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe this, to be honest. True love is true love.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate you calling back, Ayo. Thank you so much for contributing to our show, and have a wonderful day.
Okay, you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Awesome. There you have it. You know, he continued. He came back on the show and gave us a bit more of insight on why he would prefer a younger bride to an older one. And he gave valid points. You know, menopause is actually real. It's something that, despite the fact that certain women have been able to beat menopause and be able to conceive and give birth to healthy children, you know, that don't have all those degenerative, you know, defects, you know, as a result of the advanced age of the mothers, there's still that niggling doubt at the back of your mind. What if? So, you know, our Ayo has already said that he would rather prefer, even if he's totally in love with the older woman, logically, and because of the fact that he wants to raise children, he would want to do that earlier. We have another caller on the line. Hello, this is Oge from Think Tank. Welcome to our show. May I know who's calling?
This is Ifeanyi from California.
Oh, hello. Everybody seems to be calling from California. Hi, Ifeanyi. How are you today?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah. So, you have a very interesting topic, and I seem to have an interest in it.
Okay.
So, talking about, going further on what you were actually saying, like, you know, there are different things that come into play here. And then, if you want to get a girl or lady, it depends on the perspective, on the view of what that person actually wants.
Okay.
So now, like, talking personally now, like, if I want to get married to a girl, she must be willing to actually, like, understand what I actually want. Like the kids factor, the going to work, the house travel, all the stuff comes into play here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very interesting thing that comes that there is no go answer, oh, hey, there is a particular age, there's a particular time. No, there are lots and lots of factors that come into play here.
Okay. So in a case
Yeah.
where, okay, yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
No, you do. Go ahead, go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So, I understand that there will be, in this case, there will be a preference for someone who is older and who is considered to be
For
more
sure.
fertile. So what about those
Yeah.
exceptions where you have a younger woman with maybe because she has fibroids or some sort of scar tissue in her womb, she's unable to conceive? What then? What do you do?
Oh, yes. Like, I'm a man of, I want to have kids in future. I might really, really love this woman, but I don't see us getting married in future. I don't even understand what I'm actually saying.
Okay.
Because, yeah, all these things, they are just, it's life. Life isn't easy. Sometimes we have to make some edges, some cuts and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's just it. So if she has maybe, the stuff on her, maybe with time, time heal injuries and then things will just sort themselves out. But as for me, I want to have kids, I want to, and stuff like that. That's just me speaking generally.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling, Ifeanyi. We appreciate your insight.
Yeah. Have a wonderful day.
Wonderful. Thank you. Have a wonderful day as well.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
So there you have it. So many people, so many of our callers, like Ifeanyi just now, believe in objectives. When it comes to marriage, which is one of the most important decisions you ever make in life, you have to jot down your objectives. Ask yourself, why am I getting married? Be it at 23, be it at 33. Why am I getting married? And once you find the answer to that question, you can then find out the next thing. When you're looking for a partner, what kind of person am I looking for? Why? All those things, they're questions that lead to other questions. And at the end of the day, if you can find answers to a majority of those, the important questions, then you're well on the way to, getting, as a woman, getting off that shelf. Regardless of whether the milk is fresh, semi-fresh, or expired. So those questions are things you have to ask yourself. Am I ready emotionally? Am I ready to get married to a man and deal with his family? Is he ready to get married to me and deal with my family and the different issues that may come up? Am I able to put my own wants, put his own wants ahead of mine? And is he able to do the same? So all those things would, if you get the right answers to those questions, you will be able to. All right, we have yet another caller. Hi, welcome to the show. This is Oge on Think Tank here at Omega Studios International. May we know who's calling, please?
Hello, this is me, Asma, from Kennesaw, Georgia.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for coming on the show.
Uh-huh.
All right, so today we're talking about women and the milk on the shelf theory. And I want to know what you think about it.
I don't know exactly,
Okay, basically, this milk on the shelf theory just talks about, when you have a carton of milk and it's fresh, you can go buy it, you can drink it, you can use it for cereal. But if it's expired, what do? You throw it in the bin, right? It's no longer good for you to use. So now, in the way people see it, a woman is fresh milk or fresh blood from when she's maybe the age of 18 to 25 or 26 or 27. And after that particular age, she's no longer fresh for marriage. She's now old, So what do you think about that? Do you think it's something that you like? Is it something that you think is right? And tell me from your own perspective, where you come from.
This is actually, I come from I'm in Iraq, so I belong to Arabic culture and stuff.
Okay.
I think this is a kind of backward idea, or just it's kind of retarded idea that people would think of women just if she's 18 or 20 or 21 or 22, she's still young. They can marry her, and she can get married. If she's like about 25 or something, she's no longer that young, and she cannot get married, and she'd be just stressed out the rest of her life, and she would think that she's now that like the train of marriage just like passed her by, and she's now puzzled. I don't think it's the right thing for most of, like, in my society, this is the common idea. Like, if you're about, like, 25 years old, everybody would like, would keep asking you. It's like, are you engaged or not? Are you engaged or not? It's like if you're, like, above 25 years old, you just feel stressed because all you would think about is just getting married because, like, a lot of girls would get married, like, at younger age, like, at 21, 22, 23. Like, 23 is, like the ceiling, it's like when you are just above 25 years old, you'd be just stressed out, which is I thought from my own perspective kind of a retarded thinking, ignorance, like to make a woman feel that she's like already an old woman and she's useless and she cannot be like a wife and she cannot be a mom since she's like about like 25 or 26 years old. This kind of ignorance. Why would women feel like worried and stressed out and have to just get married since they're like 25 years old? Like, since you're 25 years old, it means that you have to be, or you have to get married. You have to find a husband. You're already like, the train has already passed you.
Yes. So, as a young woman, I know marriage is on your mind. Marriage is on my mind as well. What would you, what would be your major reason for getting married?
Well, like for me, it has to be like, it has to be with the right person.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be with the right person. I'm not going to get married until the right person arrives. It's after the right person is here. Like, for a long time, I felt like, pressured by my family. I had a lot of proposals and stuff like that. Because I did not know those people, I've never ever thought that, it's the right thing just to say yes to a person that I've never ever met or I don't know. They would say, you get to know each other later on. Or get like, it's okay. It's not a big deal. A lot of women married this way, so you could do it this way too, and you could have a family and be happy later on. I have never ever been able to do it myself. I could never do it. I could never do it because I felt too much. I'm not gonna get married until I fall in love with the person that my heart chooses. It's not that easy for me to just go ahead and do it like that. I cannot do it. The only thing that would keep me away from marriage is not finding the right person.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for your, your wonderful opinion, your ideas, and your perspective. All right, Asma, have a wonderful day.
You too. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, there we go. That's a different perspective. She also, comes from a culture where there's pressure put on you from the society and from your family. Get married, you have a certain age, get married, now is the time, get married, you're in your prime, get married. It is the right thing to do. At the end of the day, as an individual, as a young woman, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to say, if this is not what I want, then it's not going to happen until I'm ready. And that is not to say that you will not listen to the good advice of your family members or well-meaning members of the society. It is just saying that you have to find your inner peace. You have to find that person that complements you. You have to find that person that completes you. And only then should you go into the institution called marriage. All right, so this has been a very interactive and a very thought-provoking segment. I just want to thank all of you that called in, all of you that followed, all of you that will watch this video. And I really hope we've been able to, expand your thinking capacity on this topic. So I look forward to hearing from you next week. Same place, same time, here at Omega Studios International. And we'll be talking about domestic violence. Domestic violence, he loves me not. And this is applicable too to women because it is a vice versa, it is a two-way scenario these days. So I would like to hear your thoughts, your views on that. And I really appreciate this time. I appreciate everything. Thank you so much once more from Oge Agim on Think Tank at Omega Studios International.